Good evening. Good evening. I'm Latika, interning with an HSI. Welcome you all for the webinar on Introduction and Career Opportunity in Python. Before we proceed, we would like to introduce our team members present here. Sivin, Alan, Shobhat, Devyani, and Tvarita. The HSI, powered by Wildlife Arc, is a group of nature enthusiasts who wish to share their knowledge and experience with the world. They strive to bring informative and educational content from the tiny living world to the city dwellers. Their motto is to empower environmentalists everywhere, which aims to create opportunity by budding environmentalist people related to this field and also the one who want to join in anew through their various offline and online program. This workshop is a one within the training and internship program, which we are a part of. There are a number of such events in the line as well. We would like to inform you that we are having a wildlife filmmaking expedition in the month of July and August, about which further information will be shared by the end of the session. Now, coming to today's event, all the participants kindly rename yourself with your name in the meeting, as it will be the name will reflect on your certificates. To rename yourself, go to all participants list, click on your name and choose the option to rename. All the participants are requested to keep themselves mute at all the time to avoid any disturbance. If you have any queries or questions, kindly put them in the chat box below, and we will have a question answer interactive session with the resource person at the end of an event. If you are facing a network issue and get thrown out of a meeting, please make sure to get back through the same link. The host will let you in soon. All the participants are requested to fill the feedback form, of which will be shared in the end of a meeting. Only then you will receive the certificates. We also have an exclusive discount on our main event on basics of Python, which will be held on 4th June to 7th June. Stay tuned for exciting offers. Now, without any further ado, let's dive right into the event. Our resource person for the event is Mr. Wilson Joseph. Mr. Wilson is an assistant professor at Seth College of Engineering and Technology with more than 10 years of teaching experience. He is currently pursuing his PhD in computer science from Karunya Institute of Technology and Science. I'm sure a lot of us will benefit from his immense knowledge about the subject and get our doubts cleared. Now, I call upon Mr. Wilson to start the webinar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Is my voice is audible for?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, let me share the PPT. I think the screen is spread, so I'm unable to share it. Can you please close the?
Steven, can you please stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, thank you. Is the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, once again, good evening to one and all gather here for this webinar. So today we are going to discuss why is Python and what is its career opportunity in Python. I hope so everyone is coming from different background. That is, you may be part of some other from life science or from computer background or from biological background. Everyone, okay, everyone will be made in different backgrounds there. Then what is the purpose of learning a programming language? Right now in this scenario, that is every field, if people know every field, That is, the programming has become the one of the part. If you take any industries or any platforms, or if you take any field of study, there is some support of computers. The computer programming is needed. If you take the researching field, that is part of our study, every researching field needs some data analysis. Is one of the most important criteria where the computer programming comes into a part. There are different programming languages are there. They're like C, C++, Java, then Python, then R language, n number of languages is there. Then what is the specific thing in Python is, it is entirely different from all other programming languages. So we will discuss why Python is. If people, everyone seems that know that we have an assumption that if it is a programming, we will think there is a lot of programming codes will be there. That is the thing which comes in our mind. If you take a program, you will think a lot of syntax will be there, lot of statements will be there, lot of operations will be there, lot of codes will be there. That is the point which comes when we think about a programming language. But there is a similarity in Python, entirely similar. There is a unique similarity. There is a uniqueness than other programming language in Python. That is, the code is very short. Everyone can make a coding in Python. Comparing to other programming language, everyone can do. But comparing to the other programming language, it is very simple to write the code. So that is why many researchers who doesn't comes from the computer background, they choose the Python as their research language to enable their research, to their project works, everything they use the Python, because a person without a computer programming background can easily understand the concept of the programming in Python very easily. So let me check why. Why the Python is so popular is, it is very easy to learn and use. That is, comparing to other programming language, the programming language have a lot of syntax, lot of notations will be there, lot of things we have to keep in mind while writing a program. But comparing to all other programming language like C++, Java, or C, anything, it is, the Python is very easy to learn and very easy to implement and use it. That is, this is one of the most accessible programming language we can say. That is, it has only a simplified syntax, and it is not much complicated like other programming language. So that makes the a person without a computer programming background, they get more attracted in Python, because the syntax is very simplified comparing to other programming language, and it is very more easily accessible, and it is a free and open source. So it makes the programming language more easy. The usability is very easy. Comparing that, it gives more emphasis on our natural languages. Okay, that is, we can write the code very easily and we can execute. Like if you compare the other programming language, the execution of the program is very faster than the other programming language if you compare the Python program. Okay, then you people know there is n number of communities there, like Python community or Java community, or n number of, for each and every programming paradigms there, programming languages there, community support is there. But comparing to the first of all, Python is not a new programming language. It has been arise before 30 years. Okay, the Python has been in exist before 30 years. In 1919, it came to existence. Okay, but the community, the supportive community of the Python is very higher than comparing to the all other programming community. That the students who get introduced into the field of computer science, many of the students will come into the field of computer science through Python language, because most of the research from the other background, if you take the biological researchers, or if you take the some life science courses or mathematical research, people will come into the field of computer science through the Python language, because many of the many of the projects or many of the research purpose, the Python will give the for the depth of the research will be more higher if you're comparing to the, because other programming language has the lot of complexity is there to learn. So it is this. Then the community support. If you take the community support, it guides the learners, the new beginners learners. The community support is very higher. Okay, when you learn the field of data science, okay, the community service is more supportive in the field of Python. And if mostly what is that is, we can say that is one of the active community support in the programming field is Python. If you have any queries, if you support, if you post your query on the Python community, immediately n number of responses and help will be there. Okay, n number of helps, that if you have any doubt how to make a research, or if you, for example, you're having any if you want to plot your research studies into a graph, if you're unable to use, what type of module I can use, or what kind of packages I have to use, like that. If you have any queries, you just post it, immediately you get the n number of supports. That is one of the most supportive community is Python community. Then that is instant support will be there, given by different developers and experts in the community. That is the second important way why the researchers, or why the person is new to programming is choosing the Python. Then Python provides n number of inbuilt libraries, okay, and frameworks is available. For example, we people are doing while doing our research work, or while doing our project works, okay, mainly the researcher may feel plotting graphs or plotting the charts, that is based upon our research result. We have to make the plotting the graphs and chart is very important task. So the matplotlib is one of the framework mainly used in n number of research. If you search n number of journals or anything, they may use the one of the other tool, they use the MATLAB. They can, a similar way they use the MATLAB, but comparing to the MATLAB, that is we have to inbuild more things. But if you're comparing this matplotlib in the Python library, it is one of the simplest tool that provides for plotting charts and graphs. And for, if you take the field of science and mathematics, we use the SciPy, that is the library in Python. Using that library, we can do n number of engineering applications, and science oriented projects can be done. That is, if you have a biological records are there, if you want to make a data analytics, or if you want to sort, or if you want to make classification, every purpose we can use this SciPy library can use. For scientific computing, NumPy is another package, and Django is for if you want to make some web oriented development. For example, if you're creating a product and you have to you want a server side support is needed, so you can go server side web development in Java is the Django. So like this is only few I have listed. N number of hundreds of libraries and frameworks are available, that if you want to design a mobile app, there are separate libraries available. If you want to design a web page, that are also a number of libraries available. That is few important thing which is used in the career research I have exhibited over here. This is the one of the reason why the people is looking Python programming language. Then the important thing is its versatility, its efficiency and reliability and speed. That is, the Python can be, the language can be used in variety of environments. For example, using Python, we can do mobile applications, desktop applications, or hardware development. If you're creating some hardware oriented project, if you take the biomedical background students, okay, if the biomedical students mostly deal with the medical equipments. So the medical equipments is the hardware oriented. So if you want to make the medical equipment missions to link with the computer, one of the best programming hardware programming, we can use the portable language, we can use Python. That is mainly now the industries are using. The second, we can say the second largest programming language which is used in the field of research and the industry is Python. Okay, because of its versatility and its efficiency and reliability and its speed. That is, the execution speed is very high comparing to the other programming language. In technical aspects, that the execution speed is more higher comparing to the other programming language. Then That is the main concept. It has been used in the big data, machine learning, and computer cloud computing. That is, this is the three major, that is the trend in the field of computer science right now. It is not only in the field of computer science, big data has been used in all the fields, and machine learning had been adopted for all the field. For example, mainly for the medical projects, for the IoT related, that is Internet of Things or automations. For everything, the machine learning has been right now. It has been the trendy in the all the field. Everyone, if you take all the branches, if you ask a student, what is your project? I'm implementing a project using a machine learning, or I'm implementing a project using a deep learning. That is their answer right now, because everywhere on all the aspects, all are using their projects with the help of machine learning concept, or artificial intelligence, or the deep learning. Everything comes under the same category. And that is these cloud computing, machine learning, big data. That is to do this type of project, Python programming is the best thing, because one of the major tool is R language tool, but it is used for the data science and analytics. That is, the R language is little bit complexity is there. Only the efficient computer professional or the programming professional can do the R language program more better. So the person who is from the other background, they chooses the Python language for the data science and analytics. That is what is meant by this analytics. Nothing but we have huge number of data, and we have to manage the data in a proper manner to fetch and to collect the information, to classify the data. All comes in the analytics. So right now, the second most popular tool it being used by the other backgrounds of students is the Python language for analytics purpose. That is, a lot of data processing work is done. That is, many organizations right now using the Python language for their data processing, and most of the research and development, it has been taken place in the Python language, because the Python will support all kind of application, because it is portable. It can be used in any applications, and the analyzing and organizing data is very easier if you're comparing to the other programming language. That is the major trends like big data, machine learning, cloud computing. Cloud computing is nothing but that is providing the cloud storage, or providing the cloud space for storing our data or for our processing. Every comes in the cloud computing. For all these major trends are right now has been using the Python language for their process. Then the most thing is, everyone, if you take anybody, if you have an interaction with any researchers, or if you have an interaction with any industrial experts, their first choice will be Python right now. There are a number of programming choices are there. Okay, because why the students or the persons are adopting the Python is because it has an high demand in the market right now. In the developing market of the field of computer science, or in any aspects of the engineering field, the development market, the high preference is given for the Python language. That is the reason why the programmers or the students who are learning to do their project works and research work, they accept or they select the Python as their first choice language. It is not only the market approach, it is very easy for them to understand and to do their project work in an efficient manner. Always they look, normally people know the scenario is, we will look only, we will go beyond only the high demand learning aspects. So that is the scenario right now. So everyone is, the first choice is Python. So many programmers or the students from the data science, they are using the Python language for developing the project works. Okay, for example, if it is an for example, if you take the biotechnology students, the biotechnology students will get the n number of samples should be researched, or they have to, for example, they have to research a tissue. There are n number of collection, like thousands or lakhs of tissue samples are available. It is very, it is not manually checking. It is not possible. What they're doing is They are fetching the result, they are storing the result in a data set, and they are applying the Python concept with their libraries and the framework, and they're making a classification using the machine learning, and they're getting the appropriate, not appropriate, they get the exact classification and the exact result from them. That is why the other people are using it. That is like the data science students or many programmers use for their development project as a Python is their first most choice. And learning Python, it is very important for many certification courses. That is also one of the reasons. And many career opportunities for if you take in the aspects of students, right? Right now in any industries or any sector, while we are applying for a job, they looks in your resume, what is your project? And whether you used any programming concept or whether you used any machine learning, any innovative trending concept you are used, that is they looking on. So every field of people is right now working with the field of automation, that computing. So they looks only the that is the whether for a fantastic opportunities or for your career, Python language give you plenty of options for them. Then the flexibility of Python language is another more a very important thing. That is more flexible for the developers. That is, it gives something new. It gives the chance for the developers to create something new, and it never have a restriction. That is, if people know, it is I already mentioned it is a open source, and it has a n number of support from the Python communities, and it doesn't restrict the developer for developing any sort of application. We can if on our own background, we can create something which is used for our research or our project. There is no restriction like other programming language. That is the freedom and flexibility of learning or to develop. Comparing to the other programming language, the Python gives more flexibility. That is also one of the important things. Then if you take in the field of academics, okay, Python being treated as a core programming language right now. If you take if you check any curriculum in any universities or any backgrounds, one of the prominent core programming language in schools right now, started in schools and in colleges. Okay, they use the concept of artificial intelligence or deep learning, data science, anything. They use the programming languages Python. Nowadays it became a very fundamental part, okay, because in the college or in the school lives, that is Python language is become as a fundamental part in their academics right now. That is a scenario right now we are coming across in the universe. The next important thing why the Python is more into automation. If people know right now everything is automatic, every field has an automation, every machinery is becoming automated. Okay, the Python language plays a very important role and helps the automation task very easier. That is because it has n number of tools is available, n number of modules are already available. Just invoke the module and write the small pieces of code, and you can make your automation very easier. For example, I take a real-time example. You people right now know about the smart home. That is, we can control our home applications through a mobile application anywhere. If you have an active internet connection, we can control all the you can control all the applications or the all the homemade home-based application with the use of a smartphone. How it is happening, how it is working, the main automation, the codes will be, that is they use the Python as the important code for developing such kind of applications. Okay, because it is very simple and it gives more flexibility, and it is very highly secure, and it is highly demanding. That is, the process of automation became more higher with the help of the Python language. And it can reach, that is, one person can reach in an advanced level, but only with the necessary of Python code is required for making the advanced level of automation can be achieved. And few number of lines of code is needed because everything has been inbuilt module is available. So just a few number of codes of line is required for doing the automation tools very easy. So Python acts very much more in the field of automation. And the important thing is mainly the Python is mainly used in several research laboratories right now. That is for several research problems. We people are, if you may be a PG students, you people really have to do a thesis work in your postgraduate level. So for several problems, we find some solution. Mainly, we across about the data manipulation is the burden task for every researcher, because if we take the biological data, okay, we are doing a project on a biological data, it have lakhs of data will be available. From the lakhs of data, we have to analyze and we have to make a proper classification, and from the classification we have to take the exact result which is matching for our scenario. So this is not an easy task to fetch from the lakhs of data. It is not an easy task. We have to make the data manipulation is very important role in the field of research. And it is 100%. Most of the researchers, you just ask with your researcher what programming language you are used for your research and how the data manipulation or the data analytics you have done. And for a stimulation, for example, we cannot do every project as an exact one. We will use some stimulation tools. Okay, for example, if your biological problems, we cannot make an real-time application or a real-time projects cannot be done. So we will use some stimulation, a number of stimulation, like you can use the MATLAB or or you can use the R language, or you can use the Python. Okay, so if you take the if you ask 10%, out of 10, 8 will say I use Python, because it is very easy for them to adapt the language and easy to study, because the data manipulation, retrieval, parsing and automation, or using, if you want to make some stimulation, every problem, the task can be done in an effective way with the computer and a suitable programming language called Python you can do. If you take a survey, out of 10, the 7 or 8 will say Python will be very effective for our research purpose, because Python gives, I said Python is open source. Python, normally we can do the Python programs or researches through online. There is a platform called Collab, Google Collab. Google provide a platform called Google Collab, which has been where we can do our research program through the Python programming. So there is no need of an system physically. We can do the projects or researches through the Python Collab, that is the Google Collab, which provides a Python environment to do the large research task in an effective manner. That is, the Pythons provide the researchers at the high level of opportunities provided for them. Then I will just show a comparison between the other two programs with Python. Okay, the first one is just I'm printing a statement called hello world. If I want to print, if I take this C programming, I have to create a function called main. Then inside the function, I have to use the print statement. If you take the Java programming, I have to create a class. And inside the class, I have to create a main function. Inside the main function, I have to put the print statement as hello world. But in Python, it doesn't need a function or doesn't need a class, nothing. Using a simple keyboard called print, you can print the keyboard. That is that the syntax and the coding is very easier and simpler if you're comparing to the other programming language. Just a simple example I show. There's a comparison of coding, and there is no need of declaration or no need of like only the thing you have to keep means indentation is important in Python. The indentation, if you study deeply in Python, you will know what is the indentation. Indentation nothing but the starting and the ending of the function. That is the indentation. Okay, that is the only thing you have to keep in mind in Python. Other program also indentation is like this bracket is one kind of indentation in other programming. But in Python, it doesn't have the syntax is more complex than the other programming language. This is the only simple example I have showed that to print a line, only a single statement is needed in Python programming if you're comparing to the all other programming languages. Clear? Then the Python is the in every skill. Python has been used in every field. It is data science field, in scientific and mathematical computing. Python is used for web development. okay, for developing a web application or giving a server security purpose, a web page support, everything can be done in Python. And mainly in finance and trading, okay, to make prediction. Okay, for example, in trading business, we need the prediction is much more. So based upon the previous data in trading business, I need a prediction. So I can create a prediction. Many prediction algorithms are available. You can use the inbuilt algorithm and you can put the data. What are the, you can create a prediction of the trade levels over there. Then the system automation administration for graphics purpose, for gaming, many basic game development right now they're using the Python environment. And for security purpose, we are using Python, and for general application scripting, everything we are using Python. The GIS software, that is the geography and mapping software, they are also right now using the Python program. So the Python program is a general purpose, all the general purpose skills, almost in all the fields, they use the programming language called Python. So that is, I'm just concluding, that is Python. If you take, if you're a student level, or if you are a researcher level, or if you're trying to learn a new programming language, the one of the most and great programming you can learn easily is the Python. So understanding the syntax of Python is great and all. If you understand the basic syntax of Python is enough. That is, it is a great language, and but the fundamental of Python is important to become the languages more successful. Okay, so and conclude that, that is, if you're a beginner and if you're looking for a researching purpose, or if you're motivating to do your research level into a field of automation or in the data analytics, and if you're a data science backgrounds, if you want to apply some computer programming language skills in your project, the one of these solution you can provide is the programming solution is Python. That is, it's very easy to learn. Okay, just if you understand the basic concept, that is more enough. You can build yourself into a successful programmer in the field of research and in your academics. So that is my presentation. If you have any queries regarding that, you can post on chat. I will give I may reply for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for your enlightening webinar. Now it's question and answer session.
R language also very important. I said no. That is the R language stands right now. The people are you. That is second to R language is Python. The R language also very simplified comparing to the programming syntax. That is, the Python is very easy for the beginners to learn. That is, comparing to the other language, Python is more similar to easier. Mainly the R language is mainly used for the researchers purpose. The second one, the people who are preferring for a basic level entry into the programming, they prefer the Python. That is, for the first, the main R language has been used. Then the people are right now moving to the R language. That's why I mentioned that is the second programming language used, the tool which is used, the programming tool used is Python. Yeah, of course. That is the Python course. That is the Python. I said no. It is based upon the scenarios. That is how you're going to use it, or how you're going to use it. That is, if you are a fresher, or if you need a change, that if you want to learn something new, that is normally the mentality of a learner is that it must be simple. It must be very simple to use. That is, observing is very simple if you're comparing to the other programming language. That is, surely the Python course will help for you. That is, if you're interested into a change, that is, the Python will be more useful for it. So apart from beginner, intermediate and advanced level, which is more mainly what is this? R language is a statistical language that is mostly used for analysis and visual representation of data. We use the R language. The same way, the Python also being used. That is, Python is better suitable for machine learning and for the deep learning. Okay, for large scale of application, Python is different. Both have both merits and merits. Okay, we cannot compare R and Python as a equal. For if you want to make a statistical analysis, that is a statistical analysis that is mainly used for analysis and visual representation. Python also been used for that. But other than the analysis and the visual presentation, Python is much suitable if you are looking for a project which is leading for a machine learning, or if you are using the deep learning or machine learning concept, you can go with the Python. Or only your project is only on a statistical, that is only analysis is needed, only a visual representation of data is needed, you can opt for the R language. That is why the R language that provide a number of libraries based upon the data analysis that purpose. But Python will have all, that is not only for the data analytics, on all the field of, for a field of automation, or if I want an image processing, a number of image modules available. And if I want to make a image classification, a number of algorithms already have been designed. I can use that and I can invoke through the Python environment. So both have the advantages. The only difference is R is a statistical language that is mainly for the visual representation of data or to analyze the data.
Any more questions from the participants?
What does modeling in data? Modeling is done in every field, not only, for example, modeling is done in data. Modeling is done in data mining, that is extracting the data from the large database, and modeling is done in the database, that is classifying the data into their different types, making it a model. Like that, different data modeling is there. Then in data science, if you take making a statistical modeling of data, like that, the n number of models are there, data modelings are there. For a number of modeling techniques are there. That is, we can say that a logical schema is there. Using the entity relationship model, we can make the data model. Physical data model is there. Conceptual data model is there. N number of model is there. That is, in generally what we say modeling is nothing but that we make the that is for based upon our business rule or based upon our data structures, we will may specify the data model. So that is called data modeling, we can say. Yeah, a number of courses is available. A number of courses, like Infosys is providing Python courses. If you take the Soyam MOOC courses providing the Python courses. Once if you understand the basic concept, that is what is Python, what is this data structure, how I can do a small programming, and how what are the different logic, what are the logical expression, how I can present the logical expression, and how I can use the decision-making statements, how I can use the data structures that are different. Apart from other programming language, like different data structures are there, like list, tuple, dictionary, different data structures are there. If you understand the basic course, basic thing, you can easily study the advanced level in the many things. And number of free tutorials are also available. Okay, in NPTEL is there, but the certification is much only for the certification they may charge. you can use the NPTEL courses, that is from the MOOC courses provided by which has been provided by the MHRD. Many courses are there. Yeah, I can say that is Python will become the scope of programming in the field in the future. Right now, that is the field is becoming more automated. That is everywhere the automation. That is not only for field of working, the research and everything. Right now, research is very important. And if you take the industries also, they are morely moving into automation. That the people need the any if you are an electrical engineer, or if you're from electrical background, or if you're from mechanical background, or if you're from a bioscience, or if you're from biotechnology, they need the person to make the what is the thing should be in an automated with the help of the computer programming. So a programming language is the scope for a future person in the field of every field. If you take the electrical engineer, if they are doing, for example, if electrical engineer, those who are employed in the that is creating automation car or a EV electrical vehicle, there is a lot of automation is there. For that type of automation, their hardware should be interacted with the computer. So there is need a programming over there. So every field there will be a scope in any program. That is right now the industry is mostly using the Python. Not only Python, many programming is user. That is the faster developed programming as Python is there. So that has a very high scope is there. The certification, yeah, that is to prove your certification. That's many. It is based upon the organization which you are going for. That is certification is many for authentication purpose. They need the certification, or you can prove your ability to their technical skill. It is based upon the organization whether the certificate. If you are certified, it is you can prove yourself that you are certified programmer, or you have a certified person. That's based upon the scenario and the organization. Is the certification is needed or not? Microsoft is one of the you can Microsoft Python certification is one of the best thing you can choose over. Many certification is there. One of the thing is I prefer Microsoft Python certification. I prefer. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Sir, I have one question to ask.
Yeah.
Like you had said that there are n number of courses on Python.
Yes. Yes.
So can you please explain to the participants that why it is necessary that we should attend a basic course on learning Python rather than jumping to the courses offered by other people? Like, do you get me? Like, what is the necessity of studying a basic things
Yeah.
of Python?
If the people are if the people from other backgrounds, and I'm not speaking about the computer background, it is very seeing a syntax on first time, or the beginner seeing a simple syntax, it is not, we cannot say that he can understand it very clearly. Okay, maybe the terms will be variable, or maybe different data structures are there. We can say list tuple, like that, a number of terminologies be there. If you are studying in depth, you can self-learn it very easily. But if you're coming, that is, if you're very new beginner to the programming, that is very mandatory that you must go for some basic level. If you studied one programming language basic, all other programming languages can be done in a self-learned basis. If if you know a little basic on any sectors, okay, so if you know the basic of any programming language, all other programming can be done in a a self-made for some of the important platform they provide us. I mentioned that is one of the government providing us NPTEL courses. That's the MOOC MHRD programs are studying. There they will provide the video lectures. But if you're a new beginner, you must have a real interaction with the trainer. Then only you will get a basic idea. That is, a clarification will be done in the on spot. And if you get a basic idea, then you can make the all self studies can be done in a higher manner. That is, you can build up your own level after that. If you're from the basic, if you know the basic programming concept, you can make a self learning. But if you're a beginner and if you're looking for a programming concept should be used for your academic purpose, first it is advisable you can go for a basic course. Then you can do all the higher levels in the free of course, which is available on the networks. Several networks are there. And if you take one more question, programming will help in the sector of forestry and plantation. Every sector, that is programming right now, I will say an example. That is in plantation sector. Okay. For example, right now, you people know many farmers are using some application to select, that is maybe to identify the disease. Okay. If you send an image of your, for example, if your paddy cultivation is there, some kind of infection is there in the paddy plant. So the if it doesn't it doesn't know what to do. Maybe right now everyone is coming into the field of agriculture, so many applications are available. That is in the planting sector or in the forest, and is they can send the images of the disease in the plant. So the application what will do, it will, from the databases it will match what type of the disease as the plant is there, and it give the rectification. This may be the disease may be affected, and this or the remedy you can measure like that. A number of application has been provided. Right now the government is providing a number of that is the that is a number of plantation support is given. Most of them are using some programming language for image processing to get the result and giving a interface to the user. Everything will be done. So every field the programming plays an important part.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'm sure we have realized that Python as today's fast-paced world will serve as an important tool to all the science-related field and not just the IT side of it. All the participants are requested to fill the feedback form, where the link is provided in the chat box. So it's necessary to get a certificate. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form. Yeah, it's time for an exciting offer. I want to inform all the participants that we at Nature's Eye already have it covered as we have planned for a 4-day online certificate training workshop on a Python with a sir as an instructor. This workshop is originally priced at rupees 749, but we are providing it for you all for a discount rate of rupees 679. This workshop has been meticulously put together for people who are new to the topic. The detail of the same will be uploaded in the WhatsApp group. So, interested candidate, please to follow up the session. I thank all the participants. So, see you all in a main event. Thank you.